why does Bodhisattva build a Buddha land? One straightforward answer is that the Bodhisattva wants to help others by providing them an ideal environment. The next question is, why should the Bodhisattva be concerned with others at all? Why even bother to make the effort? To answer this question, we have to go a little bit deeper. In other words, the question here is, once we were on our way of cultivation, the question is, should we devote ourselves to our own emancipation, our own liberation, our own spiritual freedom, or to helping others? Right, that's always a struggle. Should I spend my time at home cultivating, meditating for myself, or should I join the spiritual community to help others? Sometimes that question may seem very simple, but it's a struggle that everybody will have to go through. Because it takes efforts to be in a spiritual community and to be helping others. So this question is crucial to the spiritual life. In the context of Buddhism, it amounts to asking whether we should follow the Arahant ideal, Alahan, or Bodhisattva ideal, Pusa Dao, Bồ-Tát Dao. So what should we follow? In its extreme form, an Arahant ideal is to gain emancipation for oneself alone without bothering too much about other people. Right, last night we had that discussion about Sariputta in his past life who was practicing Bodhisattva ideal, and he gave up because it was difficult to help others. He was willing to gouge out his eyes to help somebody, but they did not accept his help. In fact, they turned around and scolded at Sariputta. So you can see that helping people is not easy, and therefore it is easy to give up. So that's one extreme form. The other is the Bodhisattva ideal, on the other hand, is to help others to become free without bothering too much about oneself. It's more of a heroic act. But the two ideals are not contradictory. We shouldn't take these to be two extremes, that there is a contradiction between them. They cannot really be separated. You cannot really help yourself without helping others. And you cannot really help others without helping yourself. So if you don't have ability, you don't have the means to do so, then it's very difficult to help others. You want to practice giving, but if you have no resources, no money to give, it's going to be very difficult. But if you want to help somebody, and you are helping somebody, that means you have the ability. So that means you're capable. You have already helped yourself. Right? So these two are not separable. We are social beings. By social being, it doesn't mean that we need to have a social life, but we live among each other and we influence each other. It is impossible to cut yourself off from other people for any length of time, even though you may cut yourself off from physical contact with them. You influence them, they influence you. If you develop emotional positivity and insight within yourself, it has its effect on others. If you are very positive, you will have positive effect on other people. But if you're always negative, you will pull other people down as well. So there is that influence upon each other. If you work for others, give to others, sacrifice yourself for them, it has its effect on you. If you're out there volunteering, doing great deeds to help others, it refines your altruism. It increases your selflessness. So therefore, when you do something, it comes back to affect you. Of course, when you do something positive, it comes back to affect you positively. So we cannot really separate helping ourselves from helping others. When we practice meditation and we have meditative bliss within us, those people around us, our family, our friends, when they come within our presence, they are impacted as well. So we cannot say that a person can cultivate and achieve emancipation on his own without impacting others. The Bodhisattvas build the Buddha land because they have no alternative. If you want to evolve spiritually, you have to evolve in free association with others. So what this means is that in the process of helping others, that we don't get bogged down by worldly matters. and we don't get trapped, but we still maintained our individuality. Right? When you help somebody, it doesn't make you competitive. It doesn't make you jealous if other people are more successful. Philosopher, an author, Blake, he said, mutual forgiveness of each vice, such are the gates of paradise. So similarly, we can say mutual helpfulness in leading the spiritual life, such is the foundation of the Buddha land. The Buddha land Sukhavati is to help us to lead the spiritual life. So what do Bodhisattvas use to build Buddha land? The Buddha field or the Buddha land of Bodhisattvas is a field of living beings. In other words, a Buddha land is built with living beings. Those who want to evolve to become Bodhisattvas. Hakuin, Japanese Zen masters, he said, outside of living beings, no Buddhas. No living beings, no Buddha land. The purpose of creating that Buddha land is to help sentient beings. And to become a Buddha, your purpose is to help sentient beings. So therefore, when you create that Buddha land, you are creating it to help sentient beings. And when you become a Buddha, you have no alternative but to create the Buddha land. So you want to build a Buddha land, you need people. People are all that you need. So it doesn't matter you have buildings, you have money, you have resources. If you got people, you got everything. It is true not only in building the Buddha land, but all levels of spiritual life. If you want to have spiritual community, you need people. If you want to have a retreat, you want to have a class, you need people. So it's not enough to have the facilities, not enough to have teachers or speakers. You need people who want to become true individuals, who want to evolve. So when we have this vow to be in the Western Pure Land, in our heart should be to become Bodhisattvas, to become like Amitabha, and not to escape the headaches of this world. Right? That's very important because we are reminded that those who want to become individuals, who want to evolve, not to get a free ride, to avoid suffering. At the same time, we should not take this metaphor too literally. What this means is that Bodhisattva is not like a sort of a spiritual bricklayer, fitting people neatly into place with the aid of a bit of compassion for cement. There's often an analogy that Buddha's vows are like a boat, that all you can do is just hop on and then you're there. So it's not like it's easy just hopping on into and then everything is taken care of. We have to put in the effort to get on the boat and to work to keep it afloat and not to try to sink it. So when Bodhisattvas are compassionate in helping us, it doesn't mean that we can just sit back and relax and then enjoy the ride, but we should put in the effort along the way. A Bodhisattva can build the Buddha land with people only with their cooperation. In other words, if we don't want to be there, we're not going to be there, and there will be no Buddha land. In helping to build a Buddha land, the other people are themselves aspiring Bodhisattvas. Does it make sense? I think this is very important for us to keep in mind, that the reason that we want to be in Sukhavati, Jila Sijie, Geglak Teye, is not to escape suffering in this world, but to be inspired. We are aspired to become Bodhisattvas. We want to achieve enlightenment for the sake of all sentient beings.